Now, I'm going to give you a little insight into this media business that I'm doing, and I'm going to talk about some crazy things I came across in my time capturing artist live streams to do podcast news series and news articles on artists and their lives and what they get up to when they're not rapping behind a mic. Now, most of the time, rappers were harmless and they were just dissing other rappers or talking shit or flashing jewelry and money and not so sinister stuff, but it didn't always go like this. And I started discovering around 2018 that a lot of rappers were oblivious to the fact that they were breaking the law, and if they weren't, they were intentionally doing things in their live streams that could put their freedom in jeopardy. And it's around this time that I had to destroy some live streams because there was too much of a risk using those live streams and doing news articles that they would put the freedoms of those artists in jeopardy. So I started having to delete a lot of live streams. Now, before I just quickly get into this, be sure to sub to the channel. I'll put a lot of effort into these podcasts, so please sub. Now, one artist I will mention, only because he was indicted on his live stream video sources, and that was Kodak Black. Now, I used to cover Kodak Black a lot on his live streams and do regular news on Kodak and, you know, any interesting things he was doing. But then I came across the live streams that got him into shit. And I remember it clear as day. I was capturing those live streams and Kodak Black was flashing high-powered assault rifles in his video. I realized then that I was going to destroy the video and they could not be used because they would incriminate Kodak Black and violate his probation. So I decided not to use the videos, and a lot of other media podcasters decided not to use the videos as well. However, there was a couple of YouTube channel operators that saw the benefit in using these videos, and they don't have the same standard of ethics as, you know, people like me, and they decided to use the videos on their channel, getting Kodak Black into a lot of shit. The videos they posted up of the ones where he was flashing a high-powered, at least one high-powered assault rifle that I can remember, that there were more. And, you know, ultimately it led to the authorities building a case against Kodak Black in no time based on those live streams. So it didn't quite go according to what Kodak Black had hoped for. You know, a lot of these rappers do these things for clout chasing, and it ends up going awry. Now, I did not want to, you know, jeopardize the freedom of Kodak Black and hit the delete button. And a lot of people I knew in the music scene that capture and deliver news, rap news, also hit their delete button on these Kodak Black videos. However, some artists were doing the same thing as well, and I noticed that there was a trending pattern in MCs flashing high-powered weaponry in their live streams. So it wasn't the, you know, first and last incident, so to speak, of me having to delete a live stream because it would jeopardize the freedoms of the MC that I was covering at the time. I'm not going to mention names. The videos were deleted. I still remember who did what, but deleted, because there is no joy and satisfaction in doing news that destroys people's lives. It is not the intention of someone like me, a podcaster, to do any harm towards anyone. So, you know, if people, my ethics are, if you're committing a crime in your live stream, I'm not going to cover it. I'm going to delete it. There are culture vultures out there that will publish news on artists doing such things, and those artists get into a lot of shit. Everyone in my network doesn't operate like that. They all work on the premise that if an MC is doing the wrong thing in their live, then don't use it because, they don't want to, upend an artist, especially if they're on the come up. However, one artist that did surprise me, I'm not mentioning his name, he committed a crime on his live stream, a robbery, and I was shocked and I couldn't believe it. And after that, I decided to block that MC on IG. I didn't approve of what he did. I think it was a desperate attempt to clout chase. And it was just lucky that I was the only one really that captured that live stream, because had that have gone viral, well, had anyone else maybe got their hands on that video, that artist would have been screwed. However, I did message them and say wasn't impressed, and that's it. Not going to cover their live stream anymore because it was piss poor what they did. I don't want to get into the particulars. However, that relationship finished with me and that artist, and it didn't take long for them to set their own downfall doing shit like that. Before I blocked them, I warned them. I said, don't, perpetrate this kind of behavior on your live, because it makes out that you're desperate for views and you'll do anything and you'll sell your soul to the devil and destroy your music career and your life for nothing. For what views? It was crazy. And this artist, he was on a downward spiral, and it just continued. That's all I'm going to say on the matter, because that one I take with me. I'm not going to ever mention that artist's name. I don't want to be asked about it. No, it's not what we do as MCs. I mean, these dudes are pretty stupid because they're, committing crimes on their live for the world to see. And really, I'm just, sometimes I'm there just lucky enough to be on those lives and witness some crazy shit. Probably, that was the last thing I just mentioned was the craziest shit I've seen on a live stream. And probably another thing that I seen on a live stream that really affected me and made me want to stop doing podcasting was when Xxxtentacion died, because I was on the live stream that day. The Killers were on his live stream, and they seen him at the vehicle where he was purchasing a new vehicle for himself. I think it was actually he was purchasing a motorbike, and the Killers were on his live stream and they were watching him, and I actually captured that live stream and I remember it. And he just went live and was walking around a bike dealership, if I remember correctly, and that live stream, his Killers were in and they seen what bike store he was at, and then within half an hour I got the news that Xxxtentacion was dead, and I was shocked because my media network hit me up and they're like, Xxxtentacion's dead. And at first I didn't believe it. I'm like, I just seen him on a live stream, that's impossible. And they're like, no, he's dead. And then I realized, I started working it out, that maybe the Killers had seen Xxxtentacion on that live stream, and I think that was my hunch from the start, because it all happened so quickly. And I remember that live stream and I'm thinking, wow, that had something to do with it, because they knew when Xxxtentacion would be. They've been able to identify the location, and it just so happened that the people that were after Xxxtentacion knew that he would be not far from their hood, so they went after him to rob him, and it went sour and led to Xxxtentacion's demise. And that stuck out to me because I knew that, that live stream had something to do with it. And sure enough, in the news, then it turned out that yes, the Killers had also seen that live stream and were following it and recognized, where Xxxtentacion was, and then went to go rob him. And that's how, it all started, with Xxxtentacion getting killed. So, there's some of the not so good moments that I've had doing this media stuff over the last 5 years. Anyway, I'm MC Rapology. I'll tell you about the good stuff in another podcast, because with all the negative stuff, there's definitely an upside to this. Anyway, I'm MC Rapology. Be sure that you share, like, subscribe, Peace.